What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having I had a different one for this, Cancer. An exceptional week so far. We'll go with that, Cancer. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. And it keeps. Oh, whatever, Cancer. Us growing. I'm all over the place. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Alright, Cancer. Yep, so still recovering from that. I think that full moon energy. That was I talked about this in the other channel, Cancer, but that was a trip. But with this weekly spread, so this will have to go off script. With this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump to this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check them out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching. Cancer, very intuitive group. One of us on Cancer, so definitely check her out. She's fantastic. Let's go ahead and get to your first card here. Oh, and Cancer looks like we might be going on a little fishing trip here, because you got the 9th card of Virgos, which is Fishing Pole card. And with this card, this is a card of self-reliance, extend oneself, autonomy, mentoring others, poetry in motion, exploration, providing, connect with nature, accomplishment, reflection, self-improvement, and capable. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, a couple of energies. So, big main one is the autonomy coming through here, Cancer, but also the capable as well. And I feel like for some, maybe this is something we've been thinking about here as of late. You know, how we can become more kind of like self-sufficient, you know, and become more autonomous in what we're doing. Because I feel like, you know, the energies are definitely saying you're capable, Cancer. You are able to do this thing. But I feel like that I'm getting kind of like Nine of Pentacles vibes, which is one of Virgo's cards. Interestingly enough, that's Venus in Virgo, work towards that Empress energy. But I feel like it's like it's starting to think about what kind of practices does that look like in order to get to that autonomous state, you know? Maybe we're wanting to get our own place, or maybe this is something where maybe you felt kind of reliant if you're in like a relationship, let's say, for example. Maybe you felt kind of reliant on maybe someone else's kind of income, and maybe you want to have like your own little side thing, you know, maybe start like a side business, or maybe even just like maybe even having like just a separate bank account, even something just so that you can see your kind of physical resources in a sense. Or it really just feels like it's just like, and even for some, it's just like, how do we get back on our own 2 feet again? You know, maybe maybe life is throwing you some curveballs there, and we've just been trying to get some kind of some like sort of order to some, I don't want to say chaos, but some of the unexpected things that life does tend to throw at us sometimes. And I do feel like it is one of those things, Cancer, that a big one that is going to come into play is like, it's a number of things, but I feel like your mindset is going to be a big one that plays into that. Because, you know, when we're in that sort of like low self-esteem energy, and we're not feeling like we can take care of ourselves, not quite, because I'm even kind of even getting like it's like a combination of like the Emperor and the Empress in a sense, you know, like needing that, being able to take charge with the Emperor and manifest your own abundance with the Empress there, and then just being able to have those two energies in harmony, in order for us to get to this more just sort of like, just where it's just you. And maybe even for some it's just like, this could even be like maybe even wanting to move out of the house. Let's say if we're getting ready to like, maybe we're staying with some family or however that's looking. But I do feel like it is going to be one though, Cancer, considering with this fishing pole, and with just fishing in general. That's a thing where it requires some patience. You can't just force the fish to bite or anything like that. We have to work with the energies. You got to be patient, kind of reel it in, kind of feel the vibes, and just kind of tune in into a different type of frequency there, Cancer. But and this might even be even too question, like asking yourself, because maybe we just like we know we want to be autonomous, but maybe it's just like we haven't really sat with what that means, and how that really kind of looks on you, Cancer. Really kind of, I'm getting like even like our energy, but the Chariot card, but I'm picturing it from the the deck standpoint, where the Chariot, it's like he's not moving anywhere. Before it's like he's even evaluating where he wants to move, he really needs to see where he's moving, really kind of get into that, like even kind of Nine of Cups vibes, where it's just like we're envisioning what that looks like. Get started, imagine what that would feel like to have that sense of freedom there, Cancer. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Alright, Cancer, let's see what's going on here. Alright, Cancer, so you have the Magician and the Eight of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Three of Coins, the Page of Coins, and then the Five of Wands upright. And I feel that there's maybe for some, with both this energy, this Eight of Wands and Magician energy here, it's just like there's been this, it's like there's this stuck energy that's happening, not being able to manifest the things maybe we want fast enough. And it feels even with the Magician here, it's like we feel that there are these kind of like lack of resources, or maybe this lack of something that's preventing us from really getting this, whatever this new sense of freedom is, off the ground here. And I feel like it's like the more that there seems to be this resistance, there's the more like conflicts that even kind of come through here, Cancer, with the Five of Wands. It's just like there's something that's putting it's like we're questioning our capability in a sense. And here's the thing, Cancer, I sort of feel like with these energies too, that in order to reach this sense of autonomy, that we still may need to rely on the help of others for a little bit, however that may be looking in your situation. That doesn't mean it's going to always be like that forever, but if we always do, we're very social beings, Cancer. We're meant to kind of connect with others. And when like when you have like a friend who's in need, possibly, you're there for them. And it's okay to let people be there for you, Cancer. I feel like, for some, it's like maybe we're trying to shoulder this whole thing, take this whole problem by ourselves. And maybe this is not necessarily even asking for help, but maybe even just like kind of helping you brainstorm in a sense, kind of get some ideas, get those creative juices flowing there. And that's one sort of thought there, Cancer. But I'm even sort of getting with the Three of Coins that we do want to be mindful of. I almost am getting this over reliance of on others, possibly. Maybe we're kind of banking, in a sense, on that people are always going to kind of have you here, Cancer. And not to say that they won't, but I feel like there's a need to get into on a different type of energy, a more get on just become a little more self-reliant. Let me get a little bit more on that Three of Coins. But however this is kind of translating, Cancer, I do feel like with the Three of Coins as well, this is something that is going to take, it's going to take some work. You know, it's going to be a challenge, but it is going to be worth it in the long run. I feel like when you do, you know, get that sense of freedom there. But all right, so the Three of Coins is clarified by the Five of Swords and then the Knight of Wands in reverse here. And yeah, I'm really am kind of getting this energy. It's a mix. There's, for some, I feel like there may even be this energy of that maybe we're even having trouble getting to this autonomous state, is that others have made you, like, not necessarily made you reliant on them, but it's just like, and I don't feel like it's gotten to the point of codependency, but I feel like that's where for some it's kind of leaning towards that we're not able to make a move unless we can consult with each other's here. There's almost this, again, it's like this downing of what you're really kind of capable of there, Cancer. But I am getting for some too is that while we're on this search for autonomy and trying to get this thing, you know, where we're just like independent again, you know, there is, I feel like, a need to be open to the perspectives of others as well. You know, there's still this collaborative energy that's coming through, that's, you know, where it's not like overly reliant, but we are accepting of the help of others there, Cancer. And I almost even feel like that it's like even if they conflict with what we think, and it's like it, because I do feel that it's not that it's creating conflict or going against your, but it might just be one of those sort of like harder truths that we need to face their, Cancer, more than like someone that's trying to just like say it has to be their way. In a sense, it's just like one, you know, I hope that makes sense, Cancer. But let's get let's get another oracle on the mix. Ooh, all right, Cancer. So you got the second card of Pisces here, which is Flamingo's card. It's quite a shift there, Cancer. Look at that, going from single, now we're thinking about relationships. Because this is a card of soulmates, lovers, union, courtship, dating, attraction, seduce, long-term potential, displays of affection, charm, it factor, two of a kind, alluring, and je ne sais quoi. Interesting, Cancer. So the energy that's coming through here is the dating. And this could be a number of things, Cancer, because I feel like maybe for some that there is this because maybe we've been, it almost feels like for some we've been in this sort of independent energy for a while, you know, just been kind of doing things ourselves. And it's not that you have to date someone, Cancer, you know, have to put yourself out there, but maybe there is this need, if not dating, then at least maybe just doing some more socializing. But I do feel like that, you know, maybe on the back of your head, even for those who've been kind of focusing maybe on themselves, in a sense that there is still this kind of, just like maybe in like the back of your head, you know, maybe there's this wanting to kind of explore some passionate energy there with the Knight of Wands, or, you know, just kind of maybe just, again, not maybe looking for anything long term per se, but just like just throwing your head in the ring there, Cancer. So that's one thing that I'm kind of feeling, that of thinking about that. But there is for some others that maybe we've been doing, not doing a lot of dating, but maybe we've been just so actively kind of seeking a relationship that, and maybe things haven't been working out in a sense, and there's a need to maybe kind of slow down and kind of really think about why it is that we are so, you know, we're looking for this, as opposed to maybe taking a little time and just being with yourself, you know, kind of hermiting for a little bit, you know, checking in to see if like all your cups are being, you know, all your cups are full, and that you've taken time to just to kind of like, I feel like almost like learn yourself in a sense, you know, because maybe for some it's like we're looking to dating to make ourselves feel a little more whole there, Cancer. But we don't go into relationships, looking for someone to complete us. We go in already, working towards that completion. I feel like it's those real kind of real tight bonds are the ones where the same type of thing is happening there. They're growing and you're growing, and we can do that stuff together, and we can do that stuff apart there. And maybe even for some, if we have been dating someone for a little while and now we're kind of getting into this more, it's not that we're separating, but it's just where there's maybe some personal things that we're wanting to kind of focus on there, but maybe we're having a hard time kind of putting that, taking that time, or even putting that or not dissonance, but putting that yeah, just making that time for you there, Cancer. I feel like that a conversation may need to be had, and I don't feel like this is like a necessarily going to be like a tough one, but it's just like a, hey, I'm noticing that there's this stuff that I've been kind of reflecting on, just to let them know where your head's at, and it's just like I think I need some time, to kind of just do some maybe some meditation, or just do some reading, or maybe I'll be chilling in this room for a little while, while you're doing your own thing, and just something to think about there, Cancer. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. Cancer, see what else is going on here. Interesting. Alright, so you have the Four of Wands and the Hierophant in reverse. And then you have the Judgment, the Eight of Coins, and then the Seven of Cups upright. And that's interesting, Cancer, because I almost, take this as it resonates, but I do almost feel like for some, because the Four of Wands and the Hierophant can be both be, big cards of marriage. And with them being in reverse here, I feel like that maybe for some we are in this, maybe we're at this sort of crossroads here with the Judgment card. And thinking about maybe taking things that's, there's a complication of, or thinking about taking things to the next level. But maybe for some we're having this energy, these doubts of maybe releasing our autonomy in a sense, having to jump into something a little more committed, and thinking about how that does kind of change the routine of things up, and maybe and be, and again, be mindful of this, Cancer, because I feel like for some there might be this energy of, well, it's almost just like we're considering our options in a sense, and I feel like we want to be mindful of that. Just like if we're keeping someone in this kind of in a limbo state because we're not sure where things are good. Because I get that this is a big decision there, Cancer, and not that you should ever feel pressured, but I do feel like that is, this is something to really think about, as far as like just being careful. I feel like about, as far as just like kind of acting on these impulses in a sense. The Seven of Cups is giving me some. I might need to get a little bit more on that. That's giving me some interesting vibes there, but I even feel like for some too, it's just like maybe we're even having troubles kind of finding the one that we can kind of settle down with. Maybe there have been many options, or there's, or maybe there haven't even been any options. Like, no. Let me get a little bit more on the Seven of Cups here, Cancer. Because it's like maybe we haven't been able to connect with someone, possibly been able to form that. right, Cancer. So the Seven of Cups is clarified by the Six of Cups, the Page of Cups, and then the Sun card in reverse here. And I'm wondering for some if there's this reason that we're, because I'm almost even feeling that there's this energy of, it's not that we're still, there's something in, I feel like a past energy that we're still kind of clinging to in a sense, Cancer. And maybe for some, I feel like with this, maybe this commitment, for example, maybe if this is one thing, that it's just like we're just thinking about the times where we were just more kind of just independent, and the fact of taking this dating thing to this next level, it doesn't feel as fun as it used to, you know. And I do feel like that with the Judgment card being here, that if this is, and even the Sun being in reverse, that because maybe it's just like we don't want to admit that we want this thing, but at the same time we like, because I keep even getting in my head almost like this sabotage energy, in the sense of like, instead of like owning how we're feeling about this and expressing that we may try to just change up how, almost change up how we're operating in the relationship, like kind of pull back in a sense there, Cancer. You know, and this could not, this may not just be you, this maybe this is someone we may be dealing with, but a very interesting energy here, Cancer. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pull out of that, but that's just yeah, something to think about there. But let's get your last card, oracle card here. What's this one on you, Cancer? Oh, fascinating, Cancer. All right, so you have the third card of Gemini's here, which is the Broken Heart card. And so with this card, this is a card of heartbreak, interference, sorrow, grief, funk, sadness, mourning, distress, letdown, gloomy, hopelessness, regret, crisis, unhappy, hurt, bitter, devastated, and emotional pain. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the sadness. And so I'm wondering if there's this energy of, because maybe even for some where we might be feeling sad about maybe even a relationship that might have come into, that may have ended here recently, or maybe even not so recently, but it's just like now we're figuring out how to operate on our own. Maybe we're figuring out, like, maybe even thinking about getting back into the dating scene possibly, but not wanting to even experience that again, you know. And because I'm even getting with like the Eight of Coins, it's just like that. Maybe for some, it's just like it feels like it's too much work to even kind of think about investing in something like that again. Or, but I do feel it, like it's interesting because with the Judgment card, I almost feel like that there's this energy to kind of, if we've been just kind of been feeling this sadness, or just maybe we had like an engagement that broke off, or maybe there even was like even maybe a divorce possibly, or maybe even just a breakup just in general. I feel that, where yes, that is, that always, that does, kind of, that sucks, Cancer, and it can be just kind of feels, make us feel a lot of ways. But I feel like one of the ways we want to consider while we're kind of processing this information is thinking about in what ways did it change you for the better there, Cancer. Because sometimes we can feel like that when we've been split and we got to kind of figure things by ourselves, that that we're not able to. It was easier to kind of manifest and maybe to work with things. For example, we were married. When you had like two sources of finances and things, and because even with like the Hierophant, there does feel like it's Taurus energy, and it feels like there's this lack of security, and just a lot of things have just gone kind of topsy turvy here, and now it's just like, yeah, what's that next chapter looking like? What is this? How are we going to how are we going to grow from this? And hmm, and Cancer, just even looking at your oracle cards here, you got all of the well, they got three of the four mutable signs: Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. And I feel like that's one. Mutable signs are flexible, and they embrace change, and even when it's not easy, but I do feel like it is one that it's possible, but it's just gonna take some time to readjust. But let me get a little bit more on this sadness here. Because I'm even kind of getting like a Ten of Swords type of vibe, Three of Swords. Thank you. And Cancer, last little bit here. Oh, there's that Nine of Coins. With it. Alright, Cancer. So you have the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Wands, and then the Nine of Coins upright here. That's real solid, Cancer. Let's switch back over. Because you know what? Because even if we did just go through, some sort of breakup here recently, Cancer, however that might be looking, or we still may be recovering for something, how long it ever takes, people process these things differently. But I do feel like that this is a time to work on you, Cancer. And, and kind of I feel like with the Six of Wands, it's like being around those who not necessarily celebrate you, but just like in a sense who kind of you build up your self esteem in a sense of kind of raise your vibration. Go out and, you know, and again, not maybe necessarily doing any kind of dating, but going to do things that make you feel confident, make you feel kind of sexy. There, Cancer, make you feel vivacious. Because the Queen of Wands, she's a feisty little queen. She likes to, she's the type that where even though she Queen of Wands can even experience heartbreak sometimes, but it's just like, well, okay, you know, how does that look like now? What did I learn from this thing, and how can I take this going into this next cycle here? And how do I let that not like affect my abundance in a sense? But and it's interesting, Cancer. I like this Wheel of Fortune because it sort of makes me feel like with the Nine of Coins here, we were to take this period of time, kind of focus on ourselves. You know how spiders just kind of build their webs and just sort of, and then they just wait. And that's what I feel like it's like kind of focusing on you, Cancer, and just watching how things just start to attract to you as you start working on yourself. You start doing that healing work. Start working, getting your manifestation back into action. It's like even though this stuff is in reverse, that doesn't mean it can't flip at any given moment and get back where the energies are getting back in alignment here. But I do feel like that as once you've had a moment to really kind of process what's happened, as and that, again, as it makes sense, to start just doing some stuff to maybe not return to like maybe that full happiness in a sense, but at least start towards working towards normalcy first. Let's start there, and then figure out how we can kind of build off that from there in this kind of new phase that we're in, this new level of independence in a sense. And then when you're ready to get out there and date their Cancer again, you'll know when the time is right. Queen of Wands will let you know. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. So very, very interesting reading. Nice little turn there, little love there, Cancer. I'm with it. But if you like that, Cancer, give it a thumbs up and share this, because I know, especially if this is something where we just got maybe through like a breakup here recently, or things have been kind of because even with the Five of Swords, that can be kind of harsh. And maybe this is something too, just not even getting, try not to get too wrapped up in that harshness. Try not to let that affect your vibration too much. But yeah, share this if it's something that someone's going through. And then subscribe, you magician. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit, Cancer. I mean, you've had to have heard by now. I have a whole other channel for you, Cancer. My sun signs in Cancer. And it's called The Chariot and Friends. We talk, just talk all things Cancer. And, talk about where our ruler's at, what phase she's in, what sign she's in, when she's going void. Of course, just lunar shenanigans just out the wazoo. It's just, it's a good old time there, Cancer. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Oh, so I can get you out of here. Alright, Cancer. So you got the King of Coins in reverse here. And, I feel like right now, especially if this is something, however this may be translating, if we just got out of a relationship or whatever that's looking like, this quest for autonomy, right now it feels like that we're trying to figure out what that looks like, what stability seems like for us again, like the resources that we need but I feel with the King of Coins there, for some, I am getting this energy of, this King of Coins, he has all the resources he needs on his back. Everything, and that to him, all his stuff that he carries with him is sacred. His home, that shell, like it's, excuse me, like, and where this, and I feel like where this may not be ideal right now, I do feel like maybe for some there's this energy of, realizing that, Cancerian can make themselves at home wherever they need to for a spell, like, in order to kind of maybe, if we needed to kind of get back on our feet and whatever that's looking like. But I do feel like that there is this stability that is coming there, Cancer. Just gotta be a little patient with that energy, at the moment. But let me get your oracle cards here so I can get you out of here. Oh. Alright, thank you. Oh, alright, Cancer. So you have the 37th card here, which is the Never Ending Story card. And I almost feel like for some, if we've been in this dating sort of thing, if this has been like a recurring issue, just like the same old kind of never say, let's see that too. It's just like, is this love? Do they love me? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, me, like, and I do feel like for some there's a need, if we're just noticing that we've been kind of stuck in a cycle, to kind of focus on you right now, Cancer. Kind of be with yourself. Maybe take yourself out on a date. Don't have to worry about anybody else there. And even feeling for some others, it's just like that. Maybe we're just feeling just kind of, if this is not dealing with dating, just there's something that we feel just kind of trapped in general. It just seems to be never ending. Like you try to do one thing and then there just seems to be another hurdle and another hurdle, and we're just like 8 of coins, just constantly trying to, establish a new routine, but something keeps getting in the way. But I do feel like there's this persevering energy that's coming through with the 6 of Wands, and that you're going to get at the other end of this, Cancer, but it is just going to take it's going to take just a little bit of work in order to get there. But nonetheless, I feel like all the tools are here for you. It's just now the pieces just need to kind of fall into place there. But alright, Cancer, I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there. All this dating and courtships and even just the heartbreak, Cancer. Just be safe out there, because I know that can be tough energy. And you raise your vibration to the roof. Do some self-care, do some things for you. Go have yourself just a me day, Cancer, whatever that looks like for you. And I will catch you on the next one on the Chariot and Friends tomorrow.